That's what I meant to say. I was like, what is this again?
Check, check. What's up? How we doing?
Check 1, 2, 3.
Everybody feeling all right? Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. I am Josh Martin. You may or may not know me as the voice of Majin Buu on Dragon Ball Z. I believe this is a Dragon Ball Z panel, right? That's why you're here. Yeah. All right. So that's why we're all here. That's what I do. And I guess how about we just go down the line? Start here.
My name is Brad Swaile. I'm a voice actor from Vancouver, Canada, and I played Gohan on the original Ocean Group dub of Dragon Ball Z, or as we say in Canada, Dragon Ball Z, which we don't. We adopt Z.
Yeah, just when we sing the song.
Do you guys say zebra?
We don't say zebra.
They
No,
taught
I
us
think
that in
that's
school, though, to
I
say
think that's
zebra,
very
right?
English. Yeah, that's very English.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Zebra. My name is Brian Drummond. I am the original OG voice of Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. It's over 9,000, all that jazz, all my fault. That's me.
Hello, I'm Dameon Clarke, Cell.
Cell.
You're welcome. Or Ron Burgundy, I don't know, pick one. And various other things as well. Future Gohan. I guess I killed myself there. That was weird.
Yeah?
Damn it, Gohan. I talked to a guy last night who was an Uber driver that he was like, what are you doing here at convention? What are you known for? What's your Dragon Ball Z up? And then they sell, and he almost drove off the road. He was so into it, and it was wild to see like his voice. He was screaming. He was so passionate about it. He was so mad that Gohan killed Cell, and he was just going off the rails. I didn't know if I was like super into it or super freaked out. I don't know.
We love Cell. He's a villain of choice on it. Is Cell. Sorry, Boo. I always loved the design. Akira Toriyama's designs for Cell were just spectacular, and his transformations are just amazing.
Fun, right? Yeah. Do you know Dale Wilson?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's fun that he did the Canadian Cell.
The Canadian Cell, yeah. Great voice too.
I remind him constantly that I'm much better than him.
I'm much better. Yeah. Hello, Dale.
Yeah, he loves that. He actually got me into acting. He dated my sister for a while. Yeah.
Wow, and then you stole his job. How about that?
Payback.
He's the reason I'm a freaking actor.
Really?
It's Dale's fault. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's a good coach to have. He's a good guy.
Oh, he's a legend.
That guy, legend, absolute legend. So, we can just kind of jump right into this, and I think take questions and stuff from people. Like anything, it's always the best because as long as they're not the ones we've heard all the time, but we'll also answer those. But be original.
Come
up
personal.
Yeah, deeply personal questions about our not those either. But whatever you want to throw out there, be crazy, and let's go right in front here. Yeah. Ooh.
It's a perfect question for a Dragon Ball Z panel.
Exactly.
So he's asking about a show that I worked on called Mega Man NT Warrior, where I played Lan Hikari and Cross Fusion Mega Man as well. And one of his lines was, Jack in, Mega Man, power up, Mini Boomer, battle chip in, download.
Whoa.
Holy
He
cow.
still sounds 14. How do you do it, Brad?
I skipped puberty. That's a good question. The question is, of all of the sagas in Dragon Ball Z, which is our favorite battle? Okay. I know what mine is. I'll let you guys answer first.
I want to know what yours is.
Okay.
He doesn't have one. He's stalling.
Stalling. No.
I have no idea.
I do actually have my favorite. So my favorite saga for Gohan was fighting Super Buu. because in that instance, it seems like Gohan is starting to kind of realize that he's actually got some power, and he's got a little bit of swagger to him. And a little, since we have kind of a mixed nationality cast up here, one of my favorite lines from Gohan is in that fight with Super Buu, and the line as recorded for the American audience is "Fight you? No, I want to kill you." But the network that was airing it in Canada, and I'm assuming because our version was in the UK and Australia and Ireland, stuff like that too. So I'm assuming it kind of crossed the board, but they didn't want to say kill because it was a network that was mostly children's programming. So the line changed a little bit to "Fight you? Huh, I'm gonna destroy you." We couldn't say kill, so we'd say destroy. So there's a lot of those swaps in there too. But still, that was kind of my favorite battle for Gohan.
Nice. I'm going to be honest. I never liked doing any of the fighting. I find it hard to believe any voice actor that in the long, extended 4-episode fight sequences enjoyed any of it. So watching them may be different. My first fights with Kakarot the Clown were probably the favorites for me to watch, but I could not stand doing too much of the fighting because it is voice trashing, destroying. It would make other work really difficult. Only time I lost my voice twice was on Dragon Ball Z. So very difficult. I love doing the scene work and the character work, but the fighting sequences, I just couldn't wait for most of them to end because you hear these long sequences and these screams that we do. You never get it in the first take. The first take is too, well, maybe Dameon does. The first take is too long, then it's too short, then it was, it didn't quite fit. You had to breathe in the middle, and you do it 3, 4, 5 times to finally get it right, and then you move to the next screen, and your voice is destroyed.
Well, you can have those directors too that they just either they hate you or they want to earn their paycheck. I don't know what.
Torture you.
Yeah. They're like, nah, I think we could do better on that 4-minute scream.
Yeah.
You're like,
we don't want to have to loop it. Can you just make it a little longer?
And when you're first starting out, you don't want to you don't want to be too abrasive or whatever, too disagreeable. Yeah. Now I don't think we do that. It's like, no.
I'm terribly disagreeable now.
You got it.
I remember there was a lot of battles too where it would then cut to commercial, and so you'd have this scream going into commercial, and so you've already done a 50+ second scream, and at the end, you start to kind of wind down a little bit, and they go, cut, it's going to commercial, and when he comes back, it's going to be still full right in there, so from the top, and you're like, okay, let me just pick myself up off the floor, and we'll try it again. No, that did happen.
Josh? I'd have to say probably the Kid Buu fight, like the big crescendo when he's beating his chest. That was both fun and, like Brian said, it was brutal. I had to go back and do it. I had to do it 3 times, layer it once as just Kid Buu's tone, and then once as an ape, right? And then once actually beating my chest. So that on top of
Put it all together.
and action.
So they were using the audio from you beating your chest?
Yeah.
You did your own
I would have
Foley.
tortured you and made you do that for 15
That's why
minutes.
you don't direct, Dave. Thankfully.
We almost got it, Josh. I just think on that second beat,
Yeah.
a little harder.
Harder.
Yeah. I'm just not buying it.
Yeah.
Can you hit your head maybe? I'm not hearing it as much on the chest. Just knock it. Let's grab another question if we. Yeah.
Wait. Who else has got a question here?
Yeah, we better take another
We gotta-
question
we gotta
first.
move on, brother.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, we'll get back.
only got so much time.
Let's go with the purple first. Yeah.
Time's up. Sorry, move on.
How did we which?
How do we get our role?
Oh, how did we get the roles?
Yes.
I had to pay for mine. You guys didn't? No, no.
The favors.
A lot of favors. It's called the casting couch. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Exactly.
We had a documentary coming out called Quiet in the Booth. That was hilarious.
Not at all. We auditioned with many other performers. I didn't know what I was reading for. I didn't know who. Vegeta,
none of us did,
Vegeta.
right?
We didn't know this. It was a crazy new show. There was nothing like it on the air. And you just come up with an idea of what you think it would sound like. I was told he was diminutive, so he's a small guy, but is a human form, but he's also an alien, but he's a prince, he's full of ego, he's arrogant, and he's a killer. So I'm like, okay, princely, small, arrogant, like how do you come up with those? So I just tried to make him sound a little smaller and arrogant, but also strong. So I pitched his voice up and made it a bit higher and was using that range and tried to make him sound more arrogant. And that's what they wanted to go with. And I was happy to get it for the time that I played it. And I know now that Sabbath's doing it, he had to voice match me when he took the role over when the show moved. But Sabbath's voice, because it's a lot sort of deeper than mine, naturally. So he moved it, I think, further into his own range over time, went back and redid some of the stuff. So his Vegeta's still princely, but it's got that sort of lower sort of sound. Kakarot, you clown, right? He sort of sits down there, whereas mine is in a different zone.
He can't help it.
Yeah,
It's not his
there.
fault. He's just got,
He's just got
it's the
that
Sabbath.
Sabbath voice. It sounds so
He was
good.
doing Piccolo too, right? At the same
Yeah, I
time.
did Piccolo too.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right in there.
Right to way down there. Yeah.
For me, it was a little different because Little Gohan was voiced by a female voice actress, so that was not me. I don't have that type of range. So I already knew how popular the show was when I had a chance to audition for it. So I got a call from my agent saying, "You have an audition for a show called Dragon Balls," and I'm like, oh, "Wait a sec. Do you mean Dragon Ball Z?" And she looks and goes, "Oh yeah, I guess that's it." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Who am I reading for?" She goes, "Oh, it's a character named Gohan," and I almost pissed my pants. Because, anytime an actor gets work, we're psyched. But when you get to work or audition or read for a character that you're even somewhat familiar with, that's always a lot more exciting and a lot more pressure too. And when I was cast and got to start working on it, then suddenly I was legendary to my little cousins, because they were huge fans of the show, and for one of them in particular, he was a super fan. So on my first day of recording, I brought in a Dragon Ball Z poster, left it there, and had the whole cast sign it over a couple weeks, and they gave it to him for like birthday or Christmas or something, and I was suddenly legendary, so that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
I
I
was
love this story.
I was discovered doing comedy with Mike McFarlane, Master Roshi,
Comedy.
and comedy, quote unquote. Dameon came to some of the shows.
I was a fan, dude.
Yeah. And Chris Rager, Mr. Satan.
Yeah.
And I was doing a character called the Pillsbury Homeboy. If you know the Pillsbury Doughboy, yeah, right. Nothing says loving like my crescent rolls. So the idea was that he gets jumped on his way home from school by a gang of Keebler elves. And he gets beat up, and he goes home and gets really mad, listens to rap music, starts smoking weed, and so he went from the crescent rolls to nothing says loving like the blunts I be puffing. So yeah.
Sabbath
saw you.
Sabbath saw me do that, and he came up to me after the show, and he goes, I think I found the voice of Majin Buu.
He said, "Hey, you want to be famous?
You want to buy, yeah.
So yeah, after that was my first gig, and I've been doing it for 24 years. Woo! Dameon, how'd you get into it?
How did you get what?
I was doing a movie with Eric Johnson at the time, now Eric Vale. And he was talking about Dragon Balls.
Dragon Balls?
Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, you should audition." And then I went in and I auditioned. But I didn't know there was 3 versions of the dude.
Yeah.
So I had to figure that out.
You're like, oh, he changes.
But everybody else just did the one voice for self, which I always thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's very different and all that. So anyway, I ended up trying to figure out what to do with the rest of them. But yeah, I just auditioned for it, and thanks to Eric Vale.
Nice.
Yeah.
Weird, these connections that happen,
Heck
eh?
of a guy.
That's wild. Good question.
I love how we're all like still friend, like really close over the years, and you know what I mean. Like everyone's cool with everybody.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, Drummond's gonna be there.
Yeah, right.
You know, like everyone's super cool. It's nice to meet you. I've never met you before.
Whenever you
Pleasure,
drink
yeah.
with somebody.
But
it's
these things
kinda-
are so fun, man. Like we all genuinely get along,
And, like,
which is rare.
Yeah.
Particularly with anime series, they bring in one actor at a time. So I could have worked on 100 shows with Brian and never actually met him in person. And the idea that we get invited to a show like this and actually get to interact, like let alone
Yeah.
do panels together, but just hang out for the weekend is pretty cool.
Yeah, we did tons of shows together, but besides crossing paths on the way in and out of something, we just were not in the same room for anime. Anyhow.
For
Yeah,
anime.
good question. You had one there in the front. Do you remember yours? Sure.
If your all your characters had like a free-for-all battle, who do you think would win?
If all of our characters had a
like,
free-for-all
if-
battle,
If Gohan, Vegeta, Buu, and Cell had a free-for-all, who do you think would come
Oh,
up?
Wasn't
wow,
that
we-
the Cell games?
I think we would all win.
yeah,
But
it
all
really
of
does-
us are the winners of
There's
that.
so many different
That'd be a
things there. I mean,
blast.
there you could be what form, which form, when, Majin, Super, like I don't know.
Well, technically it should be Cell because he just rips everybody off and he's got everybody's skills and whatnot. But for
Yeah.
some reason, it doesn't really pan out that way.
He sucks them up.
You make it sound so dirty.
Yeah, I don't know. They all have, well, except maybe Team Gohan. There's super egos with the rest of us.
I don't know, Broly's
they would-
pretty tough.
Yeah, Broly's pretty tough, and he did a job on him. So yeah, Broly, if he was around, he would probably do it. But I think Vegeta, come on,
We're all going to pick our own guys.
You're too cocky.
he's too cocky.
You're
That-
just
he
you get
just
you know your
gets-
hubris gets in the way.
gets in the way, and he has to go and train to be stronger. Good question, though. Yes, let's grab another one. Okay, maybe it's over 9,000 shirt. Yes, in the back. Can we? Oh, we're waiting for a microphone.
Yes, I just want to know, is there anything you all have to do to prepare for your voices, like right before you start? Is there any preparation or any stuff that you do?
That's way too
That's
professional
that's-
for me.
yeah.
No. I like to sing that. What's that Celine Dion song from the Titanic? I will go on. That's
Will Go On.
that's my
Nice.
warm up.
Wow,
Yeah. Or
That's
Four
a-
Non-Blondes.
that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm not good. I'm not good a singer. It's really impressive.
And if it's not Celine, then it's Whitney.
Yeah, it's a good.
Maybe
Whitney.
some Adele. Yeah. But that's actually kind of right on point because there are actors that'll have these exercises and these techniques and all kind of stuff. And for me, it was just driving to the studio. I would sing in the car, and when I hit a red light, I would sing like this so nobody realized that I was belting out whatever tune I was belting out at the time.
Show
But
tunes.
that's,
We know
that's
it's
how
show
for
tunes.
auditions though, right? Because you get that energy up and you're blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. In the booth, I don't know of anybody that does any kind of prep work. Not for this.
I think I would warm up, just do the voice a couple times before,
Nerd.
on the way in, and then, but during is how to stay alive. It's just like water, just hydrating constantly.
That's more
'cause
the
it's
thing,
voice
right?
trashing.
Is how are you going to make it to the end of the session and
Yeah,
the day
maintaining
after?
it.
Yeah, that's really the tricky
Because
thing. It's
yeah,
not
through
warming up
fighting,
so
it
much.
starts to change. It's like, oh, it's
Yeah.
getting scratchy. It's getting rough. Whoa, now you're sounding not even like who you started the session with. That's the tough part. And there's nothing you can do. Everyone says, well, there's this magic elixir. There isn't. There's water and stop talking. That's it. Shut up and drink fluid.
There is something that I was introduced to at one point. I was in Los Angeles working on a video game, and because I had to fly myself
Nimjong,
down
don't
and
say
back
that.
out. Huh?
Is it Nimjong?
Is it that red goopy stuff?
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
I haven't found that to work.
I had to record an entire video game in one session.
What's it called?
Nimjong. It's a.
It's a red gelatinous.
Is that an
goop.
Amazon purchase?
No,
I don't
it's
know.
like, yeah, you'll find it
Where the
in
hell you get that?
Chinese medicine places, and
You gotta go to the singing bush.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
you have to know people who know
shoot
people.
these
Know
guys
people,
with
know
those, man.
people. Drink this.
But it's a goopy. Yeah, it tastes like cherry cough syrup,
Yeah,
but it's a
gross.
goopy thing. So it actually, if you're screaming, especially when you're recording video games in a short period of time, you're doing all of the grunts, all of the exertions, all of the screens, not unlike Dragon Ball Z. And this stuff, you put it in your mouth and you kind of swallow it, and it coats your throat, so that you're destroying it before you destroy your throat.
Yeah.
So it helped me that day because I was doing so much in a short period of time with no breaks.
Yeah.
because I had to be back on
we
a
should
plane.
do that at cons, because I don't know about you guys, but Sundays I'm right.
Sundays,
Yeah,
yeah.
agreed.
And if it's like tomorrow's gonna be really loud in here, and I'm gonna try to not lose my voice. Cons for me are the. You ever see those actors too that'll have like the little
Microphone?
Yeah, that's becoming a thing too.
The Britney Spears mic.
This is
yeah.
one of the hardest things to do. Calling out over the table in these acoustic environments like this is, that's
Especially when there's guys getting choke slammed like just kitty corner to you,
Are
right?
you there? Are you right there?
We're right on the other side.
Oh no! Just on the other side of the curtain, so like
no.
I'm hearing it all,
Tomorrow's
but I don't
gonna
get to
be so
see
loud.
it. Yeah, it's
Oh
gonna be
my
bad
God.
house. And like, what happened? So I'm peeking through the curtain. Was that a choke slam? Is it a suplex? I don't know, man. I can't see. No.
Yeah, good luck. Good question. Yes, next question. Where should we go now? Maybe over here with the camera? The microphone is coming. Not that it helped us hear much, but
Hi there.
yes.
All right, so we already talked a little bit about the physicality of it, but I was wondering when you're like powering up for 3 episodes straight, doing all this crazy yelling, like, do you guys ever like burst a blood vessel or like an O-ring?
God, no, thank God. That sounds horrible.
Wow, yeah. I think a lot have probably got to that point when you're screaming and you feel a bit like you might pass out, like where you're just, yeah, and I know I've had it where the room kind of goes, it gets to a small point and I'm like, oh, didn't get enough oxygen on that yell because it was going on, like I just pushed it for too long. And physicality, it's difficult with voiceover. You have to stay some range on a microphone, or you know, oh, you got off mic, so you can't move around much, or you go off mic. So you have to find a way to create physicality by keeping within a few inches of the microphone. So yeah, there's an aspect of that for sure, but
Nobody's got it worse than Sabbath. I don't know how he does it.
yeah, it's pretty rough. He's the dude's got a scream.
I know he
a
got
lot.
polyps.
Did he?
That doesn't sound good.
No.
I'm not a doctor, but that doesn't sound good.
No, the more screaming you do, you're going to do some damage and get nodes and possibly have to have surgery. But I've had it checked a couple times and nothing they said that was glaring.
You kind of
But,
figure it out over the years. You find out where your thresholds are, and then you
And
stay
say,
shy, just
yeah,
shy of that.
I have to stop, but
That's it.
it's difficult. It just is, and it's no.
It's like
there-
mining for coal.
Yeah,
It's really hard.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's one of the things that people love about the show. They just dig. It was something that wasn't on the air when it rolled out in the mid '90s when you first started it. Kids were used to what it was Scooby-Doo and whatever was on, and then all of a sudden, what the? And these guys were and bursting blood vessels and going crazy, and all the kids were gathering around and running home from school at 4:30 to see it because it was insane. And their parents were like, "What the hell are you watching in there? Shut that screaming off!" And they'd have to record it and watch it when they weren't there, and it exploded because it was something that nobody was seeing on TV, and they loved it. So here we are.
I guess that's true. I'm a parent now, so at the time, kids loved us. Parents would have hated us.
What? Turn that down. Yeah.
You
I
thought
can
Paw
imagine.
Patrol was bad.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z when it first came out.
Yeah.
Making parents freak out.
Yeah, crazy. Let's grab another question.
Nothing was worse than Barney, though, Josh. Am I right?
Oh, man, Barney.
It paid the bills. It paid the bills. As we said on the road, purple is green. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Purple. is
Josh
green.
has toured more than anybody that I know, especially like in the actors, like the cons and whatever. But you've been on the road, you're like half your life, dude.
Since
wild.
'96, yeah.
Yeah.
Often, yeah. In and out of all these hotels, up and down the roads, loving it.
You love us and we love you.
That's right. Oh, sorry, Bob.
Okay, let's grab
Respect to Bob. Yeah.
over there.
He's got the mic.
Oh, good idea. Yeah, line up behind that dude if you got a question. That's a good idea.
So I know this is a Dragon Ball panel basically, but I want to ask for all 4 of you guys. Out of everything you guys have done, every single job, every line, every voice actor, what was the number one thing that you guys all loved? Like, what was the one character or the one line you guys just loved recording?
I'll answer that right away, and it was felt like a pinnacle. Although I've done some fun stuff since. My favorite character when I was a kid in the comic books was Wolverine, and I got to play Wolverine in 5 movies. So that was to kind of reach that level and get to a place where I'm saying I am him, and people will watch, and it's me doing the voice of Wolverine. That was when I felt like I'd made it. Yeah, it was amazing.
Still, in that same realm, I got to play Nightcrawler in X-Men Evolution, and I was a big, nice. And I was a big Nightcrawler fan anyway, and so when you get that audition, I read for a few characters, but he's the one that I really focused on. And then you get the call saying you got it, and you're excited. And it's, I find that if you have an audition for a character that you're already somewhat familiar with, it's always that much more pressure, but that more exciting if you get it. I got to play Jin Kazama on a video game, Street Fighter versus Tekken, so that was a big one for me because I'm like, oh my god, I got to audition for Jin, and then I got it. And a little bit more recently, I played Baby Groot on Marvel Battle Worlds, and I'm a huge Guardians fan, so that was a big one for me. And I was the consummate professional because I showed up to day one, I had all of my lines memorized.
Yeah, everyone. You never missed it.
I am Groot. I am Groot. Yep. Nailed it.
I love that. Also, man, just last thing I want to say, my favorite line of the entire Dragon Ball franchise, I don't care what comes out from here on out, is still the Gohan line of, fight you? No, I want to kill you. To this day, I still, goosebumps right now.
Yeah, buddy.
Fight you, I want to kill you. What's your favorite role?
I'm a fan of just any character that is super cocky and kind of borderline abusive.
Hey, why is that?
I don't know, Drummond, you stupid idiot. They're just fun to play, man. So, like the Cells and the Handsome Jacks.
They just
like
write.
that.
They write so, I don't know. It's like writers kick it up a notch when they get to write for villains. It's something.
Fun.
It's like they go, now I have a chance to say.
There's no
the thing.
moral code you got to adhere to
In animation. Yeah, it's fun. Villains are fun.
Villains, please.
Josh.
Man, my first favorite line was,
You think Boo's sexy? How about a smooch? Mwah!
and then, but my ultimate so far is,
All pudding cups are for Boo!
Yummy.
What do
fun
the
to
other
do.
Boos sound like?
That's what's well.
I haven't
Scott
heard
played
them.
Baby Boo, and I think Scott did Baby Boo in a high pitched like zone.
Did he do a Josh Martin, or did Scott do it first?
No, Scott was probably doing it at the same time because, like I said, we only went up to the Frieza saga, so we hadn't met Boo before. So they were probably through there, and you were probably cast when he showed up in the U.S., and then the Canadian one was happening kind of simultaneously. Scott would have been doing that one and picked his voice, which was that sort of pinched sound, not the same as what you were doing. And they had different actors, though. Did you do all the Boos?
I did Fat Boo, Kid Boo, and Evil Boo.
Okay.
I don't do Super Boo.
Not Super
Or
Boo.
any
That's,
of the
Cook,
absorptions.
right?
Yeah,
Justin Cook, yeah. Yeah.
Same
And
in the Canadian
Scott
one.
didn't do them all either.
No,
Brian Dobson did.
It was, Dobson.
Super Boo, I think. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Because Super Boo was more I can't do it, but
When I was in the studio and I had been done with Fat Boo and
Are we
wasn't
allowed to
doing
say
anything.
Fat Boo anymore? Is it Bone Boo or?
I don't know. I'm sorry
PHAT
if
fat,
I'm-
it's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Big Boo, my man. So anyway, they asked me to do Kid Boo, and Barry Watson was the director.
That's
He's
who brought it to Vancouver. It was Barry.
And Barry goes, all right, Josh, it's Kid Boo. He's just an old junkyard dog. He's just an old junkyard dog, all right? And so sure enough, he started it, and all I could think about is a junkyard dog chewing on a tire and just...
Wait,
So that's what all Kid Boo sounds like. Yeah.
Barry Watson's not Canadian.
Boo killed you.
Was Barry Watson Canadian?
No, he was there.
He just went up with Gen.
He was from Dallas.
There it
and
is,
he
yeah.
was
That's right, yeah.
flying to Vancouver to
Because
record
I always
the
thought
show.
he was like a chicken farmer or something. No, I'm serious.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
probably.
exactly.
Yeah.
Barry Watson.
Yeah, Barry Watson was the first guy I met in the studio with.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a
back when.
character, dude.
I remember I was doing a screening, like before they were able to loop anything. It wasn't digital. It was all on tape. I was just, as long as I could. I couldn't get to the end of the sequence. And he's like, Brian, I got 6 donuts left in here in this pack. And They're all yours if we can try this one more time and get all the way to the end. If you just, I was like, well, okay, I like donuts. So one more time. One more time for you, Barry. Pass out on the floor. There you go.
You just did a really good Dr. Phil just now. I'm not sure if you're aware of that or not. That was like
so
spot
close to
on,
that.
Dr. Phil. Who's next?
Yeah, who's next? Fire away.
Hello.
Oh.
Hi. I was wondering, what's all of you guys' favorite ice cream flavors?
Nice, a good one.
Ice cream.
I gotta go anything with caramel and chocolate.
Yeah, that's, you know what? I'm one of those strange guys. I'm more of a soft serve ice cream person. I don't like hard ice cream as often, but if I do get it, it's usually going to be a one with like peanut butter cups in it, like the Ben and Jerry's has a good one, like pretzels. I like that. Tonight dough is pretty good with Ben and Jerry's, and I also like a really good Haagen-Dazs coffee.
Oh, that sounds so good.
I don't think anyone does it better than Ben and Jerry's in terms of like off the shelf.
Off the shelf, no. I don't
Bluebell's
think
from
so.
Texas.
Who's that?
Bluebell from Texas.
Bluebell?
Is that better than Ben and Jerry's?
I mean, it's from
Really?
Texas. You know?
I got 3 people right now. Okay.
I got
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
like,
right,
yeah, but
yeah.
you guys think Whataburger's good.
Uh-oh, you stepped in.
That is not. Everyone knows it's BS.
Get a
You
rope.
guys die on that hill every time.
Get a rope.
That's the worst thing Cell's ever said.
Oh, there you go. Sells the one, and I was going to say it sells a lot.
Ian Sinclair, we're doing a panel, and he, no, it's not Ian Corlett, and he's like, I gotta see what all the hubbub's about with the Whataburger, and he's eating it on the panel, and his face is like kind of, and this was in Texas, and he goes, I don't get it, and the whole panel turned on him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kakarot can't say that.
they got out their pitchforks.
Yeah.
I
Is
get
it-
it. I don't get it, but yeah. I
I've
know.
never had it yet, so I won't
Gotta
comment.
get the patty
I won't
melt. Get the
comment.
patty melt.
I'd say pre-mixed mint chocolate chip. Okay. Sweet cream with strawberries from Marble Slab is probably the numero uno if I can get it. But I do love some soft serve froyo.
Oh, yeah.
I like to get the cheesecake, birthday cake, and then probably a sorbet, just because you can get 3 different flavors, right?
Wow.
The
Boom,
question,
boom, boom.
the
Yeah.
question
Action.
was ice cream, not froyo, not sorbet.
You really went off the
It was
rails,
ice
buddy.
cream. Now I'm a simple man, so for me it's not always about the quality of the ice cream, and more so the quantity. So for me, it's one of those giant tubs of just a chocolate ice cream. Right? Okay. Some of you, because I like a big bowl of ice cream, and one of the reasons is I like ice cream kind of in between forms where it's not solid but it's not liquid. So I'll get a big bowl of ice cream and I'll just start stirring, and I'll eat while I stir. But then eventually I'll find that sweet spot where it's like a soft serve.
How much
but doesn't
weed do you
taste like
smoke?
stuff.
That is
So
Sorry, what was the
like
question?
froyo.
Like froyo. Stop tricking me with frozen yogurt.
question. Let's
Did
grab the next
you
one.
guys ever get into
Thank you.
Pinkberry when that was
you.
all the thing
I
and
went
everybody
once.
was freaking out about
I went
it?
once.
What,
And I-
Pinkleberry?
Pinkberry. I couldn't
Yeah, I
do
went
it. I
once.
was like, this is
You
not.
add all your stuff to the ice cream, and it's.
But it's yogurt or something. It's not even ice cream.
My girls love it.
I couldn't do it.
It's
Not
a little
into it.
treat.
There's like, I don't even like, peanuts in ice cream. Like, I like them separate, but not together. It freaks me out. So the idea of putting things in there that like freeze immediately and make it really difficult to eat bothers me. Like a cookie dough.
You're a texture guy.
a
You're-
chocolate
you're an
chip,
anti-texture
But
man.
I'm not gonna put, like hard candy into my
That's
ice
why I
cream.
only
I'll
like
put them
the
in separate
strawberries.
bowls.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I'm with
Something
you.
that freezes too much or crunches too much, it's
Fire away, sir.
All right, so appreciate you guys coming. I got a quick question for you. This is
Yeah.
more of a 2-part question. So you mentioned about Wolverine was like a big point in your career. You
Yeah.
mentioned Nightcrawler from X-Men Evolution's great series. Do you all collect any memorabilia of your favorite characters that you voiced, or are you collectors at all? Speaking as a collector, I collect what resonates with me, so I'm curious as to what you collect, if anything.
Funny, I had a good conversation about that. America loves to collect. I mean, yeah, I'd say more so than like Canada and the UK.
Okay.
But I once I started going to more conventions, had to pare back the collecting side of things because I did start to. This is cool. I have so many toys, and from characters I played, roles I played, I wanted to try and have one of everything, and I have just bins of so many things. I get some favorites out that I try and rotate around the studio at times, but I have so much stuff. I've kind of put the ixnay on it for now, except for favorite like print art pieces that I might be interested in, but toys and stuff I've had to go.
Well, if you gotta move,
yeah, I just moved recently.
A nightmare.
Bins of stuff that are, and Laura's like, "You're my wife. These are yours," and I had like 6 bins. It's just toys.
You gotta be real careful with it.
Boxes
You can't bend
of toys. Yeah, try not to tweak the corners.
I can't do it.
Oh, look at what AJ and what do you want us to show, AJ? Oh, those are our silly actor friends over there.
How much does he look like Taika Waititi?
I know, we got some. Oh,
got-
there's the finger.
That's crazy,
Hey, Taika.
dude. That's crazy.
Brian, you
I
missed
love
it.
what we do in the shadows. It's awesome.
He got it in the airport. You were off getting something or whatever, and he got it again in the airport. But you could tell it was somebody that had built up the courage, saw him on the airplane. We were just off the airplane, we were just waiting around, and built up the courage to go up to him, and then eventually was like, "Are you Tygo?" And he's like, "No, I'm not." And the guy was just like, I had no follow-up to a no. And it was just, it got really awkward suddenly. And, you know, AJ's lovely, so he's just smiling at him and like, "Do you have any further questions?" He's like, "Okay, goodbye." I think at some point he goes, "Well, that's too bad." For
Yes,
you,
we're
'cause
talking
you
about you still.
Still talking about you, AJ.
So back to toys. Yeah.
Back to toys.
Yeah.
Back to Dragon Ball Z. Let's take another question.
We've wandered a lot of tangents in this. Yeah.
Any other? Yeah.
I'll give you another one.
Yes.
So I imagine the answer to this is no, but given his recent
Next question.
did you guys ever have a chance to meet Akira Toriyama?
Once.
Oh, did you?
I think it wasn't in Dallas. Didn't he come out for that? Nope.
No, I don't.
Nope.
Kamea?
Because Josh, you were there. You would back me up on this. I
Kamea?
thought
No.
He wasn't there.
Okay.
Ryo Horikawa.
we had a
Yeah,
lot of
it
those
was-
guys
that was
out
it.
there, though. I thought he came
I
out.
don't think Akira Toriyama was there.
Just kidding.
I hold
Savage
in my
was
heart, anyhow, that I hope and I feel that Akira Toriyama probably had to hear my voice as Vegeta before the first North American casting of the show was completed. He might have had some say in that. I don't think that Barry Watson was like, yeah, that guy, just him. I would kind of think maybe he did. So I hope so. A genius, you know, lost way too soon, but an absolute genius. I've got to work on Dragon Quest recently, which came out, Adventures of Dai, which has a lot of artwork and style of Akira Toriyama's as well. But I never met the man in person. No. Another question before we wrap it up. I don't even know what time it is. Anybody know?
6:15.
Who all wants to ask some questions? Because we're gonna put a button on this.
Yeah, we'll take two more.
9,000.
There it is.
When y'all started doing Dragon Ball Z, when you were voicing, did you ever imagine that it would be as big as it is still now?
I knew. Nobody else had any idea, but I was the one saying, "You guys, this is gonna be huge," and no one believed me.
No one believed David.
No one believed me. Never
No
mind that
one-
I've never heard of it before and I had no idea what it was. I was the guy going, "This is gonna change
Chris,
our lives."
Sean,
you
all the
guys."
directors, nobody knew. Barry, nobody knew.
No, none of us knew. But I will say though that Sabat, he did say, and I don't know if he was joking or not, but I would have been about 30, and he goes, "You're gonna be doing this the rest of your life." And I don't know if he was joking or not, but he's right. Like it just was, this is a one-of-a-kind thing that I can't compare it to anything else.
But after,
that has been going on for so long.
We had done 60 some episodes, 70 episodes. Before it moved from Vancouver to Dallas, it had already blown up on television. And Barry was at the point where he's like, oh, this is killing it. And I don't want to have to keep probably flying back and forth from Dallas to Vancouver to do this. I'll just put an ad in the paper that says, "Can you sound like these actors from this famous show, Dragon Ball Z?" and recast it, and it wasn't that hard to do at that time. So I think it was doing relatively well at that point, but I still don't think any actors in Dallas or around knew of it because
No, it's
It
impossible.
wouldn't have been something they were watching, and I had no clue what it was. We didn't even know how to say the names right. Vegeta, how do you say? What is it? Vegeta, Kakarat, Kamehameha. Like, how do we say? We didn't know how to do the attacks. Everyone was. making
Have
it
you
up.
guys seen that theme park in Dubai?
I've seen visuals, but you know, are you gonna?
The visuals. Yeah, well, I haven't
Yeah.
been there, obviously,
maybe
but a
something.
friend of mine's there right now.
Wow.
And there's no way we could have known.
No.
There's nothing else like this.
Is it a Dragon Ball?
It's,
Yeah.
theme?
check it out.
The
We'll show
whole
you.
park?
Yeah.
Dude, we'll show you when we get off this. It
It's
is mental.
insane.
Wow.
It's mental. I don't know, billions of dollars?
Oh, I mean, it has to be if it's.
it looks
there, they're so
legit,
big.
man.
Wow.
Like, they got all Nimbus clouds flying around
Oh,
and crap. It's wild.
All right,
It's an
road
acid
trip.
trip.
One more.
Hey guys, any Dragon Ball role that you wish you had other than what you have right now?
Everything that Sabbath's doing. Just because I could do it way better.
Way better.
I'm
Everyone
obviously
knows.
joking. No, I can't think of one actually.
You know, everyone. I was on a lot of other shows, so it didn't really. I wasn't really actually that concerned when the show moved because stuff happens. You know, for whatever reason, it's usually money related and convenience related. Whenever a show shoots somewhere and then moves somewhere else, so I wasn't that concerned. I would have loved to still be playing the role of Vegeta if it was still recording in Vancouver. I would have never left it. I would have still continued doing it, but it moved, and I moved on to many other things and was not concerned about it. So I would have loved to stay with that role, but Chris is a great dude, and I've known him for a long time, and called me up even out of the blue to play Copy Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super, which was a fun little throwback for the fans, you know. And I'm not even in Dallas, so we managed to find a way to make it work. But that's fun stuff. So that's probably all. Because when he called me, he was like, "Yeah, hey Drummond, there's a part coming up in Dragon Ball Super. Maybe you want it." I'm like, I was the first Vegeta, and I don't know if I want to do some other bad guy. And what if it sounds like my original Vegeta? That's gonna be screwy. No, you're gonna like it. It's actually Vegeta. Oh, are you quitting? What's happening? And I'm like, no way. But you know, but it's Copy Vegeta. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. And so came back and did that. Yeah.
What about you, Joshy? Is there another character that you would like to do? Oh, all of them. Probably something
I
that
do.
Rager does.
The ego in me says all of them. You know what I mean? Really, but I would have done Mr. Satan.
I was gonna say Satan
would've
for
done,
some reason,
yeah,
just
that
because
would-
you could take it away from Chris. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I do a pretty good Chris and Mr. Satan. No, but Chris is give me a number one. Supersized. Get an extra McChicken.
You're kind of missing out on the whole.
And you watch Dragon Ball Z? This is how he orders McDonald's, or anywhere. I swear to God, he tags it with a, "You watch Dragon Ball Z?" And, and if they don't, he'll be like, "What? I might have gotten that discount." That's my credit. But yeah. Bunch of light shows and tricks. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's from Mr. Satan.
We love Chris. Who would you do?
I didn't hear the actual question.
Who would you do if you could be anybody
Whose
else?
role do you want to steal?
Whose role would you
Dragon Ball Z?
steal if you could steal it?
Oh, jeez. Yeah. You know, yeah. I would just steal mine back. it's pretty simple, right? Yeah. Like, I don't know. Gohan has become one of my favorites. Anyway, and I like kind of the direction that Gohan's going.
Yeah.
We've had little conversations about how powerful Gohan may or may not actually be, or may or may not be becoming, and it seems like Gohan always gets pulled away by a big cartoon cane to go and hang out over here and do something different because he's getting too powerful too quickly. So they're like, we're just gonna put you over here for a little sub story for a little while, and then he'll come back in. He's like, oh, we're getting too strong again. Put him back over here. So yeah, I'll stick with Gohan, and I'm wearing the shirt. So that's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
Sir?
I just want to say thank you guys for coming, and let's give a round of applause for the panel.
Thanks, dude.
Woo!
And,
Thanks so much for having us,
We were
everybody.
just speaking about Gohan. Stephanie Nataloni just got in the building. She's over here at her booth, guys. She just showed up. So if you guys want to go say hi to her, she's over there. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. We
Thanks,
will.
guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Enjoy the show.
Oh, go.
Yeah.